So here's a great question. Why is the Department of Defense now being called the Department of War? I've got two angles on this as a veteran who deployed in OEF and as a psychiatrist looking at what this shift means psychologically. First, the facts. President Trump signed an executive order changing the name to Department of War, not as the official title, but as a secondary or ceremonial title. In certain official statements, communications, and ceremonies, it'll be called the Department of War, and the Secretary of Defense may be addressed as the Secretary of War, but legally, the Department of Defense and Secretary of Defense remain the only official titles unless Congress passes a law. Historically, the department was known as the Department of War from 1789 to 1947 until the National Security Act of 47 reorganized it. Now, my two perspectives. As a vet, this change feels like it actually names what's already happening. Since World War II, we've transitioned from defending against threats to intervening. Remember, during World War II, the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, was formed as a spy agency to fight the Axis powers. After the war ended, the OSS was dissolved. However, when the Cold War intensified, the CIA was born. And since then, the US has been on an offensive footing, whether you believe it or not. Globally, through the CIA and military actions in Asia, South America, Africa, and other places. This has obviously intensified significantly since 9/11. The war on terror has become that perpetual state of war. For instance, Iraq might have technically ended, yet our troops are still engaged there. The name War Department actually kind of formalizes that long-running reality. Now, as a psychiatrist, names shape identity. Calling it the Department of War sends a powerful psychological message to the troops in all the branches all over the world, civilians at the Pentagon, and the public. We're always on offense. It normalizes a state of war rather than positioning us as defenders only. That shift in language affects how people feel about what the institution stands for. To be clear, I'm not endorsing the change, I'm interpreting its meaning. What do you think?